Today on the Trent Out Loud podcast. Are you kidding me? Did you hear what this man just said? When somebody says they have transcripts and cannot produce it, when somebody says, hey, somebody gave me a thumb drive and I saw videos and I saw all this and they cannot produce receipts, it's because they're lying. What up? It's your boy, Trent Out Loud, and I'm back with another episode. All right, it's Wednesday morning, my third favorite day of the week, hump day. The weekend is close. All right, I got a good show set up for you guys today. I got 3 lead stories. We're going to kick off the show with Metro Boomin saying that Drake beef was just for entertainment. Then in our second lead story, we're going to talk about a woman who is accusing Diddy of R rating her. Yes, he has a new case, even though that he is locked up. Then in our third lead story, we're going to follow up from a story we broke yesterday about the author of Kim Porter's memoirs. He is coming out saying that he did not fact check and that he's not sure if the stories are real. Then after lead stories, we're going to jump into quick news. We're going to talk about T.I. and Boosie's son. We're going to talk about Freedy P making the band, Angela Simmons, Scottie Barnes, and the 10 worst dating cities in North America. Then when we're done with all that, we're going to talk also Chloe Bailey and top 5. Then we're done with that. We're going to jump into question of the day and close out the show with a little bit of sports news. Y'all know what time it is. Turn your TVs, your radio, or your devices up. I'm about to start this show. Let's go. Metro Boomin says the beef with Drake was entertainment only, but the internet made everybody pick a side. Now, there's no article to this or no write-up, but I do have him saying this live in case for people who do not believe this, because it just sounds so utterly ridiculous. But take a listen and we'll talk about it on the other side. Here it is.
You know, you both feel like you're the best. It's like, okay, now we got to have a showdown. You know, we saw it with Jay-Z and Nas before. But I just feel like more today is the internet just makes it a little too wild now. But it's just entertainment at the end of the day. And, you know, I have love and respect for all my collaborators. And, you know, I just want to see everybody do the best.
Now, to be fair, I did not hear the whole interview. And maybe we're missing some context here. And we obviously assume he's talking about him and he's talking about Drake and Kendrick's beef because he's saying Jay-Z and Nas. You wouldn't think he's talking about his beef with Drake because you wouldn't be putting Jay-Z and Nas in there. But again, like I said, we do not have the full context. So if he's talking about his and Drake's beef, then I could understand how it being a little bit of entertainment. We all know there's a backstory, there's girls in it, but I could understand that wasn't personal because they do have a common friend, 21 Savage, and they were cool with each other. They have collaborated before. So I can understand him saying, hey, it was a little bit more entertainment and maybe staying away from the personal side of it, saying, oh, it's not like I really hate Drake. But again, you're mentioning Jay-Z and Nas, so we're automatically going to assume that you're talking about Kendrick and Drake. And to say that was for entertainment purposes only is a stretch. And I went into the comment section, and a lot of people agree with me. You know, Kendrick talked about Drake, with children, and there was a lot of accusations, especially in Not Like Us. I think it was in Euphoria it was in Meet the Grams where he's like, yo, I hate you. I hate everything about you. I hate the way you walk. Maybe that was actually in Not Like Us. I don't even remember because there's too many diss tracks, but it seems as if Kendrick, and a lot of people have said, Kendrick just doesn't like Drake like at all. It's not like a rap or entertainment beef or like, let's see who's better than who. It seems as though he really just hates Drake. However, who knows? We'll never really, really know, right? The conspiracy theory in me is, hey, maybe they paid Drake off, the label paid Drake off to do this, and it was a whole big conspiracy to begin with for them to make more money in the music industry because the music sales were slumping and they needed to bring in more money for Kendrick. They are signed to the same label. They do say that Drake, with his deal, that he's a part owner of Gamma, which Kendrick is signed to. So you never really know. You know what I mean? And the last conspiracy theory that I'll throw out there is maybe this is a precursor to Drake maybe showing up on the Super Bowl stage with Kendrick Lamar. Maybe this is them just kind of planting seeds, right? Like, how we talk about like the NFL being scripted and, you know, these big billion-dollar companies being behind these things. Maybe this is the way to end the beef really quickly and get both of them selling again. You know what I mean? Well, sorry, Drake more selling again, because we're saying that, shoot, we don't know if Drake could come back, you know? So I don't know. I gave you 3 scenarios there. Maybe this is just him talking about, Metro Boomin talking about him and Drake. It could be him talking about Kendrick and Drake, which we definitely know he'd be wrong about because it's not entertainment purposes only. And then my conspiracy theory, my bonus angle of maybe this is them laying the groundwork for Kendrick bringing out Lil Wayne and then Lil Wayne bringing out Drake at the Super Bowl and them saying, haha, this was just all entertainment for fun and for money. Y'all let me know what you think in the comment section below, or send me an email, trent@cfqr600.com, or send me a DM at any of my social handles, any of my social media accounts at Trent Out Loud. All right, in our second lead story, Thalia Graves, the woman who is claiming Diddy and his security guard R-worded her, she broke down in tears during her press conference. Thalia Graves, Diddy's most recent accuser, speaks at a press conference following the filing of a new suit yesterday. Thalia claims that in 2001, Diddy and his head of security R-worded her. Gloria Alfred, her attorney, was by her side. According to Graves, she was given a drink that was probably tainted with drugs, which made her pass out. When she woke up, she was strapped and restrained. When Graves discovered in 2023 that Diddy and Sherman had recorded her claims of R-wording, it was allegedly given to several men in an attempt to disgrace her and her boyfriend, who was Diddy's employee at the time. All right, so just like the article says, this is Diddy's latest accuser. This is a new case for those who might be confused out there. This is not in federal court. This is not criminal court. This is a civil case. And yes, if somebody is in jail, you could still sue them civilly or even criminally, all right? So this is the latest, the newest accuser. I have a little bit of more details to her story. A woman named Thalia Graves is suing Diddy, claiming she has suicidal thoughts since Diddy and his head of security R-worded her back in 2021. Graves claims that she was 25 years old and dating one of Diddy's employees when he lured her into a meeting with him and his head of security alone, where she was then given a drink laced with drugs, she thinks, and then she lost consciousness. So that's just a little bit more background to, you know, how she was involved with Diddy, and she was dating somebody who was working with him. A lot of people in the comment section are going off saying, you know, 2001, this is 23 years ago. You've had suicidal thoughts for 23 years. You know, why haven't you come out? Why are you speaking now? But then also too, a lot of the comment sections are, you know, this is a pattern with women that have been in these kind of situations. And the more women that come out, it makes it more comfortable for other women to come out. And then obviously too, there's the fact that, you know, Diddy, we know this through the federal investigation, that Diddy threatened a lot of people, right? So it could be now that she just feels more comfortable that he's behind bars and he doesn't have the access to the power that he had before, threatening people's lives and threatening to damage her. And she might just feel more comfortable now, the fact that, you know, Diddy is pretty much ultimately powerless, right? So there's that fact. Anyways, I have a little clip from the press conference. Here it is. Take a listen.
The internal pain after being sexually assaulted has been incredibly deep and hard to put into words. It goes beyond just physical harm caused by and during the assault. Some of the hardest parts of this pain are the shame and the guilt I have experienced that plays a negative part in my day-to-day ability.
All right, so for those of you who are not seeing the video, she starts out her press conference with she's crying. She starts breaking down and crying. Obviously, I couldn't play and have that much dead time for those who are on air or podcast platforms. So there's a good 20 or 30 seconds of her crying and breaking down before she's even able to speak. Of course, her lawyer speaks before her, and then she starts to speak. It is 4 minutes long. Obviously, I can't play the whole thing. But yeah, it just... we don't know when this is going to end or how many more accusers are going to be coming out. It's just a crazy situation. All right, in our third lead story, author behind the viral Kim Porter memoirs says he's not even sure if the story is real. He says, it's real enough to me. I didn't ask too many questions. All right, this is a follow-up from yesterday. When I spoke about this yesterday, I told you guys that this was fake. From Candace Owens' podcast and from the things that I've been hearing, I could have told you guys that it was fake from jump, and I'm glad now I have confirmation from it. When somebody says they have transcripts and cannot produce it, when somebody says, hey, somebody gave me a thumb drive and I saw videos and I saw all this and they cannot produce receipts, it's because they're lying. And I know Candace Owens does a lot of salacious things, but this is really ridiculous that she would have a whole podcast. I mean, she has a big, huge platform, getting over like 1 million, 2 million views, promoting this book and saying that, she at least she did her due diligence and said that she's not sure of the author or whatever, but she's smart enough to know that it wasn't real. You know what I mean? And she has a large enough team. We have a very small team here, and we could have told you guys it was fake. Candace has a major team and operation behind her. It's not too hard to see through the what's the expression? See through the BS in this one. Anyways, I'll read you guys the article so you could hear more about it. The internet has been on fire after the memoirs titled Kim's Lost Words, The Journey to Justice from the Other Side hit Amazon. Well, it turns out things may not be what they seemed, as the actual publisher is even unsure of the authenticity of the book. Chris Todd released the project under the alias Jamal Willward that featured no previous works. Most people took the book's salacious claims as facts, or at least close to it, but with several grammatical errors, some remained unsure. Todd has now spoken to Rolling Stones and surprisingly reveals that he cannot confirm if anything in the book is true. Apparently, he wasn't even able to fact-check anything with the celebrities mentioned in the book, though he claims to be an investigative journalist. Yo, bro, I'm more of an investigative journalist than you are, man. This guy is fully capping and just trying to make money. He goes on to say, if somebody put my feet to the fire and they said, life or death, is this book real? I'd have to say I don't know, but it's real enough to me, Todd says. Sometimes you just have to put it out there. Maybe not 100% of the book is true. Maybe 80% is. This is to get the people to come forward and either corroborate or deny the claims. And that helps me as an investigator to know the truth. Are you kidding me? Did you hear what this man just said? I'm going to put a book together. I'm going to print it. I'm going to release it on Amazon as Kim Porter's memoirs. And I'm not too sure if anything of it is true, but because I released the book, that's going to get people to come out and then say what's true or not. And that's how I'm going to know the truth. I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone, and I still have questions for Amazon, but hold on. Todd claims the bulk of the book comes from details that were on a flash drive given to him by two music industry sources. They told me they had Kim Porter's flash drive. I didn't ask too many questions about how they got it or where it came from. To give even more context, Todd also claims he solved many other huge pop culture murder investigations like John Bennett Ramsey and Nicole Brown Simpson. Yo, whatever, man. All right, my bigger issue is, why is Amazon selling this book? Why hasn't it been taken or stripped off of Amazon? I literally just checked before I said this. It's still available. And why isn't somebody suing Amazon? I heard the family of Kim Porter is looking into these claims. So I'm sure, just like I said yesterday, I'm sure that I'll be able to tell you guys in a few days that they'll be taking legal action against this guy, Chris Todd, who's releasing a book under an alias, and Amazon. So keep it locked to the Detroit Law Podcast. I will follow up and let you know what's going on. All right, this brings us to quick news. Ring my bell. Boosie and T.I. confront their sons about shooting a music video with guns. T.I. says he's not supporting it. I have a little clip of T.I. literally going off. Take a listen.
Treat mine like you treat yours. What is it about the gun?
It's not illegal to have guns.
Well, in the manner in which you portraying in the lifestyle don't look legitimate, sir. What kind of parent don't support their kids and they'll goddamn slide, ride, popping it? And then got a gun in your book there?
Yo, King really puts T.I. and Tiny through hell. Yo, it's crazy. That kid is a terror. Anyways, it's ironic to finally see T.I. In this situation. For those of you who don't know, T.I. went to jail years ago, maybe about 10 or 15 years ago, for, I don't know, having about like 100 or 150 guns in his home. I don't know if you guys remember that. I'll never forget that. It was on CNN and they went through T.I.'s house and he had this like secret room. And he had just come home from jail for something else and he couldn't have guns. They found like some secret room in T.I.'s house. It really looked like a an action movie, like Commando or like okay, Commando, that's a really old movie, but like whatever, I don't know, what a Mission Impossible movie, right? That's better. Like a Mission Impossible movie, like a room and these secret guns coming out. And it's just funny to see T.I. now as a dad with teenagers being like, yo, you can't have guns in your videos. But anyway, shout out to T.I. for growing up. All right, in our second quick story, Freedy P from Making a Band reveals the Cheesecake Diddy forced his group to walk and get was actually for Beyoncé. Freedy P from Making a Band discloses the Cheesecake Diddy compelled the group to go fetch, in fact, was indeed for Beyoncé. If you guys don't remember this, this is literally one of the most legendary things to ever come out of MTV, I think, or if not, definitely top 10. Diddy's Making a Band and him, I think they were in New York and they had to go and get, what's that famous cheesecake place? Anyways, I can't remember. Anyways, they made them walk from Manhattan over to Brooklyn Bridge to go get Junior's Cheesecake. That's what it was. Anyways, it's literally been legendary in so many rap songs. And it's just funny to hear the stories, you know, all these years later. Freddie P was like, yeah, Beyonce was just right upstairs. The cheesecake was for her. Now, that story might sound shocking now, but this was, I mean, Beyonce was still big back in the day, but now she's like iconic and like untouchable. And it's just funny to hear like, yeah, Beyonce was just upstairs in the studio, just hanging out. You know what I mean? Like at the time, you know, Beyonce would have to go to somebody like Diddy, you know, for tracks and beats and, you know, to cut some tracks on her album when she was just starting out. So anyways, here's Freddie P. Take a listen.
Okay, fun fact a lot of people don't know. That cheesecake we went and got was for Beyonce. She was upstairs the whole time. That's a fun fact people don't know. People like, y'all walked and got a cheesecake. It was for Beyonce. I'll do it again.
He went on to say that him and another contestant that was on the show took a taxi back or something back and everybody walked back. And then Diddy was like, yo, I told you guys to walk and get the cheesecake. I never told you guys to walk back. So anyways, fun fact for people who used to watch Making a Band and know that story. All right, in our third quick story, Angela Simmons fans urge her to end things with Yo Gotti following news of the record exec's late brother putting a $100,000 hit out on young Dolph. According to reports, the trial for Justin Johnson, one of the men accused of ending rapper Young Dolph's life, kicked off September the 23rd with a shocking revelation. During opening remarks, prosecutors argued that Yo Gotti's late brother, Big Juke, put a $100,000 hit out on young Dolph. All right, we talked about this yesterday. Everybody is up in arms about this. I don't understand, like, why is it so shocking? We know the beef between Young Gotti and Young Dolph. Like, I don't understand the surprise here. But anyways, I guess fans, now that it's come out and it's alleged, they feel like people are just going to go after Yo Gotti now, because Big Juke is not here. But like I said, the people that would do something like that, they already know where it came from and who was behind everything, right? So I just think it's a little bit ridiculous. However, I understand her fans not maybe knowing all of that and, you know, looking out for her. A couple of people brought out and said, Angela, please distance yourself from Yo Gotti, honey. And then another person said, Angela Simmons, hey girl, it's time to pack your bags and go back to Run's house because it's about to get extra hot. So anyways, this court case for the men who ended the life of young Dolph is continuing, and I'm sure we're going to hear more about it. There's one guy who's admitting and working with the Fed, so interesting to see what's going to come out of it we're obviously going to get some guilty verdicts, but we'll see what comes out of him, like in the streets, right? I'll keep you guys up to date. All right, in our fourth quick story, NBA star Scottie Barnes called out by high school sweetheart. She says he dumped her and is now expecting a baby with another woman. Okay, you know I hate to do gossip stuff, but Scottie Barnes, Toronto Raptors, y'all know I had to cover this story. By the way, shout out to Mars. She sent me this a couple of days ago, and I didn't report it, but now it's making more news, so she was right. I should have talked about it before. Anyways, Scottie Barnes is in the spotlight, but for all the wrong reasons. The 24-year-old Toronto Raptors star found himself at the center of a controversy surrounding rumors that surfaced that he's expecting a child from a 33-year-old woman. The news sparked a firestorm of speculations and prompted his ex-girlfriend to take to TikTok to share her insights. Actually, I have a little clip instead of reading it. Take a listen.
What's that looking? Put a finger down if you were dating your high school sweetheart for almost 6 years. You're holding it down for him while he's trying to make it to the NBA. He makes it to the NBA, so you move to another country to be there with him to support him, all while studying for your master's. One day out of the blue, he breaks up with you, and then months later, he gets a white girl pregnant. Just me? Okay.
Yeah, and there's a picture of the I don't know, the alleged baby mama, new baby mama, and she put a picture of her stomach, and there's a hand. I don't know if it's Scottie's hand or not, but then and she's put a heart, and then Scottie Barnes commented underneath the picture, and he said, "Life with you." So I guess this is allegedly true. I don't know why it's such a scandal. I mean, it's not like he cheated on his ex, not like he cheated on his wife. They weren't married, they were together. I understand it's heartbreaking for the high school sweetheart, but if he broke up with her and he's with another girl, then I don't understand, like, what's the big deal, right? But who knows? I don't get into these gossip things, man. You know, I have a viral podcast, not a gossip podcast. All right, in our fifth quick story, they put out a 1 to 10 list of the worst cities to date in the US, and I got them for you. Everybody was talking about this, went super viral yesterday. I'm going to go backwards instead of telling you number 1 first. We're going to start from 10, all right? Number 10 is San Jose. Number 9 is Phoenix. Number 8 is Houston. Number 7, San Diego. Number 6 is Fort Worth. I think that's Texas, right? Number 5 is San Antonio. Number 4, Chicago. What? Yo, I love Chicago. That's one of my favorite cities. Philadelphia is number 3. Los Angeles is number 2. And number 1, you guessed it, New York City. Researchers from Fresh Finder recently conducted a survey regarding the best and worst cities for datings, and their data shows that New York is the worst. Now, I don't understand what the context is behind this. What does that mean, the worst? What does that mean? Like, words are powerful. Worst meaning that it's just hard to get a date. Worst meaning like you don't find good girls. Like, what does worst mean? I want to know. If anybody knows anything more about this list that's circulating, let me know. And also let me know if you agree with it. Send me a DM at Trend Out Loud, comment below this video, or send me an email, trend@cfqr600.com. And also for my Canadian listeners, let me know which Canadian city you think is the worst for dating. All right, in our sixth and final quick story, Toronto rapper Top 5, who we talked about yesterday, he just got released from jail after 3 years. And he put this out on his Instagram. He said, "Y'all rap N-words, oh my big bro, Champagne Poppy, Drake, some apologies, or please don't come back to Toronto." People are putting in the comment section, this is a no-fly zone. The Toronto Demon closes the border like Trump on any mans who disrespects Drake. Now, I told you guys yesterday that when Top 5 got out, he thanked his lawyer and he thanked Drake for paying for his lawyer fees, and then Drake unfollowed him. So maybe this is, Top 5 trying to get back into Drake's good graces. Maybe that's why Metro Boomin was like, hey, I don't have anything personally against Drake. It was just all entertainment. Yo, maybe Top 5 is more powerful than we think, man. Who knows? All right, this brings us to question of the day. Social media users tell stories about when they realized they hated their partner. All right, so the question of the day is, when did you realize you hate your partner? All right. So Kat said, my ex made me think I was asexual. I don't even know what that means. What does asexual mean? It's J Mac said, towards the end of the situationship, he wanted to be serious. I didn't. And he wanted to cuddle. And I've never gotten so irritated by somebody touching me. I wanted to scream. That is definitely a time when you know you hated somebody for sure. Priya Kola said, when he purposely let me sleep through my alarm I had set for work. When I asked him why he didn't wake me up, he said, I'm a grown woman. And that's when I know I started to hate him. These are some weird answers, by the way. Anyways, Nia Tai said, his phone was broken, so I hadn't talked with him all day. He finally called. I was so upset to see his name finally pop up on my screen. That's when I knew it was the beginning of the end. What? These answers are crazy. Angela 82 said, I was no longer sexually attracted to him, and all the flaws I used to ignore started to disgust me. 100%. Yeah, I'm beginning to think maybe we did something, a question of the day like this last week. I'm not too sure. Anyways, I'll read two more. Chocolate Girl 17 said, I felt gross every time he'd kiss me. All right, and the last one is from Sonia 105, and she said, I was almost 36 weeks pregnant when I collapsed trying to do laundry by myself. He finished work and went to football practice instead of coming back home and checking on me. But a week later, he came home early from work to check on the dog because he ate chocolate and he was worried, and that's how I know I started to hate him. Well, those are some crazy stories, man. Y'all better get out of that relationship and stop just hating on people. Leave. All right, this brings us to sports news. Retired NFL star Bret Favre reveals he has Parkinson's disease while testifying in hearing where he is accused of stealing millions from Mississippi's welfare program. Retired NFL star Bret Favre is seemingly attempting to gain sympathy from the public after he is accused of stealing money from the Mississippi welfare program. Let's go to this clip, actually, and hear Bret Favre. Take a listen.
Sadly, I also lost an investment in a company that I believed was developing a breakthrough concussion drug I thought would help others. And I'm sure you'll understand why it's too late for me because I've recently been diagnosed with Parkinson's.
All right, now I get it. Now I understand why the article is saying that he's just looking for sympathy because he's not talking about the Parkinson's disease at all. He's just using that to gain sympathy. I get it now. Anyways, Bret Favre was one of my favorite quarterbacks back in the day. Recently, as he's retired, though, I mean, he's doing some shady stuff. I know he has a court case with Shannon Sharp. I think he said some racist things, if I'm not mistaken. Not too sure. But then also this welfare case. But anyways, for all my football fans out there, Bret Favre has Parkinson's disease. All right. All right. So that is the show for today. Thanks a lot for hanging out with me. Make sure you check out tomorrow's show. Before you leave, just want to remind you of all the ways to stay up to date with the show. For those who are listening on YouTube or podcast platforms, please try to check me out Monday through Friday on CFQR600.com from 11 to 12. We do play the Drown Out Loud podcast, and we mix it in with 90s and 2000s hip-hop and R&B. It's a great hour. It's a great way to enjoy the show and catch up with your entertainment and viral news. Vice versa, if you're used to listening to this podcast on CFQR 600 and you can't always catch the show from 11 to 12 on weekdays, don't worry, we upload every show to podcast and YouTube. So just go to your desired site, type in Trend Out Loud. The show will pop up. Don't forget to hit the follow and subscribe button so you can be notified every time we upload a new show. Lastly, Spotify supports video, so you can check out YouTube and Spotify if you're like me and you like to watch your podcast. You can follow me on any social platform at Trend Out Loud, the production company, Entertainment Media on Instagram. And lastly, for those who are listening on CFQR, stay tuned for the Midday Mix with my boy, Don Smooth. I'll see y'all tomorrow, man. Peace! Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy, Trend Out Loud. Peace!